Let this represent 1 million. This is what 10 million looks like. And this is 100 million. And this represents 1 billion. Elon Musk has a net worth of 266 times of this. And this is you, probably working in a job right now, living in urban cities with skyrocketing inflation. You probably struggle financially in the past, present, or foreseeable future. You feel underpaid, yet you have credit card debt, car loan, student loan, personal loan to pay every month. You feel like a modern day slave going to work, getting paid, just so you can pay everyone else except yourself. 9 to 9, hamster wheel, rat race, traffic jam are your daily realities. Getting rich feels like a distant dream. Seeing all those millionaires, billionaires, especially the ones under 30, you wonder, how did they do it? You are confused. You feel it is so unfair that they got lucky. They were born into rich families. Or maybe they cheated their way to this. Illegal means, dodgy shortcuts. I'm just unlucky. Or perhaps I'm just dumb. Those dreams you had written down in your teenage years, buying that big house, your favorite sports car, traveling the world, they will stay just dreams, nothing more. You become cynical of people who are richer than you, convinced that life is a rigged game from the start. And you hate to admit that you are on the losing side of this game. But what if I told you you were wrong? What if there is this science behind the way money works? A missing chapter we should have been taught in school, but did not. What if you did not have to abandon those dreams of being able to afford your dream car or traveling the world? Would you call me a liar for saying so? I promise that I'm not. And by the end of this video, you will understand there's a side to the coin that you are not being shown. Not the head, not the tail side, but this third side. It will mean swallowing some harsh truth that the school system and society did not care to tell you yet. Is money something earned, inherited, the root cause of all evil, needs to be chased desperately for? A big no to all these questions, and let me warn you, the money revelation I'm about to share with you, there will be many of you who will not make it to the end of this road. How do I know? Well, you do not have the patience to even watch this documentary to the end. That is why. But for those of you that do have the patience, at the end of this road lies the answers to wealth and money that will crush whatever money misconception and false beliefs you have about money itself. At the end of the road lies the sense of security and freedom that comes with possessing enough money. So, are you with me? The truth is, what and how we think about money is largely influenced by our upbringing and environment. You were born into a family that didn't have much money growing up, then you are more inclined to believe that you too will not grow up to have much money. As an adult, you might go to the extreme and do whatever it takes to make as much money as you can, so you will never be in that predicament again. The fact that our school failed terribly at teaching us about money is actually intentional and by design, but that is for another video up next, so be sure to subscribe so you do not miss out. Now stick with me, because we are going to rewire how your mind has been seeing money your entire life. TV dramas and movies have always depicted the wealthy and the rich as evil, backstabbing, entitled, or corrupt. Question is, have you bought into that stereotype? Robert Koch, born into poverty, self-made billionaire. Tay Hong Piao, self-made billionaire. Sheikh Mokhtar, another self-made billionaire. Vincent Tan, yet another self-made billionaire. All through legal means. What is it that these people know that you do not? Truth is, your equation is all wrong. We have been taught the only way to make money is a salary earned from a job. Hence, the prospect of securing a job, a high-paying one, hopefully, becomes the sole purpose of our education. I do not mind making little money from my job, says nobody ever. We want to make a lot of money in the shortest amount of time. If that is your goal, then this may come as a shock to you too, because this way for making money will never ever get you there. We all have one precious resource in which one is gone, there is no way of getting it back. That resource is time. In a typical job, the amount of money you earn depends on the time you spend doing tasks in the job. You are paid, say 20 bucks an hour for 40 hours a week, then you need about 24 years to earn 1 million. Minus any taxes and expenses in that period, you end up with much less. And let's not forget that inflation monster who never sleeps. Also, you traded all that precious time of yours for money, and the reality is that on a salary of $20 an hour, you can only really be a low-level millionaire at an old age by living like a miser. So again, you ask yourself, how is it then that there are self-made millionaires and billionaires at such young ages? The truth is, they have a money formula that is better than you. They understand money in such a way that you have not quite get it yet. So I want you to pay very close attention now. In a capitalist society, the rules of the game are as follows. You are paid in proportion to the perceived value that you bring to the table. And the people that perceive your value, they are the market, the consumers of the economy. The market is you, your friends and family, your neighbors, your colleague, your country. Tell me if I'm the only one who thinks that the top athletes in the world are overpaid. But the truth is, for athletes to be paid millions, there has to be a market for the sports industry in the first place. People have to see the value in whatever sporting event in the first place for them to want to spend money on matches, tickets, merchandise, and even products endorsed by the athletes themselves. Say, if the market has a high demand for soccer, guess what happens to the players who are at the top of the game? They are paid generously. No, actually they are paid obscenely for it. Hard work has nothing to do with how much you are paid. And that is not to say that hard work is not important, but it just simply is not enough on its own, like what we have been taught in school. A food delivery rider sweating and tiring himself out every day is paid far less than a CEO in a multinational company sitting behind a desk in an aircon room. Why? Because the market perceives the value of what the food delivery rider does to be far less than the CEO. As harsh as it may sound, the food delivery rider can easily be replaced. It is not difficult to learn how to do a job of a food delivery rider, and therefore the market will not pay him more than the CEO. The CEO with sharp business acumen, whose strategic decision makes hundreds of millions for the company, is paid 100 lifetimes of what a food delivery driver could ever dream to earn. But even so, we just discussed how working in a job is not the right equation to amassing great amount of wealth in a short period of time. So then, how can we increase our perceived value? What is it about people like Forrest Lee or Jack Ma that makes their perceived value so high? Now here is your answer. If you want money, solve problems. If you take a second to digest what I just said, you will realize that just about the world's money runs from this basic principle. When a problem gets solved, money will be thrown at it. If it is $1 million problem, then the same amount of money will follow the solution that solves it. Listen to the market around you. What are people saying that they don't like? What are people saying they wish existed? What are people saying frustrates them? What do people think that is incredibly inconvenient? Is there a problem that you can solve? Is it a problem that is worth solving? Does the market has the money and be willing to part with your money, pay you that to solve the problem? Think about all the problems that Shopee solves. The inconvenience of going to a retail store, the hassle of having to wait weeks for delivery, cheaper prices and so on. Forrest Lee solved $1 billion problem and was rewarded favorably for doing so. And the best part is, it is not even original at all given you have Amazon and Alibaba before that. How crazy is this? Reminder, solving a real problem that the market is able and willing to pay for is different than pleasing your ego and doing what you are passionate about. The market does not care about your passions, my passions. Chasing your passion, pleasing ego, heck, even chasing money is the wrong thing to do to make money. It is a paradox, I know. But if we want money, it is not money or ego or passion that we should be obsessed with. We should be looking for problems and, more importantly, solutions to those problems. Wait, so that's it? Just solve problems and money will magically appear? So create the next Shopee for me to be rich, or the next TikTok or Google? Newsflash, you don't always have to be the founder of an entity or a company that solves a problem. Be part of the entity or company that solves a painful problem affected a lot of people and even affecting the world. Put your strength at work, hone your skill, become indispensable because you're so good until you become irreplaceable, and in no time you will be compensated so well, paving your way into becoming multi-millionaires as well. Now ask yourself, even as the world is willing to pay you millions a year to lead this $1 billion conglomerate, am I at a level where I can do the job as good as or even better than these CEOs in charge? Once you have found the solution, it is your job to make sure the solution can be accessed by as many people as possible in your market. I'm talking about getting eyeballs, getting qualified leads without the constraint of time and location. Remember, you only have 24 hours a day even if you do not sleep and there is only one copy of you at any given place. The next step of this equation to wealth is applying leverage onto the solution to the problem. The word leverage or leverage comes from the word lever, a tool used to lift and move heavy objects. Levers are force multipliers to achieve more than you would normally be able. Naval Ravikant in his book states that wealth creation using leverage means you detach your output from your input. These are the 4 ways to apply leverage. Hiring people are the most obvious type of leverage, as you can accomplish more than by yourself. Even more powerful when you have people working for you, such as employees and contractors. You can even accomplish a lot more while all you have to do is manage and allocate resources. You put down 100,000 of your own money and borrow the balance 900,000 to buy that 1 million investment property. So when that property appreciates to 1.5 million valuation, you are essentially making 500,000 before tax and financing costs just by using 100,000, a 500% return versus only a 50% return if you were to pay 1 million cash on day one. Capiche? Code leverage is the algorithms contained in apps or programs used to automate repetitive tasks or functionality for many users at the same time. Code it once and sell it forever. Think Microsoft Office. Leveraging code brought us the big tech titans of today: Google, Airbnb, Facebook, among others, and a new generation of wealth. Remember, it does not necessarily have to be solving a new problem. Giving people back more time via an app or program with little to zero incremental cost to you is the most powerful leverage in the modern age. People are willing to pay money just to gain back more time for themselves. You object? You got to be joking, right? I do not even know how to code or write a program or an app. I do not even have the money to start a business. Heck, I don't even know or want to start a business. So what now? Thanks to social media such as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, or content sites such as YouTube or Twitch, we are living for the first time ever in history in an age where TV and newspapers are no longer the gatekeepers to create awareness, build a brand, and ultimately market your products or services to the world. Influencers have changed the traditional definition of celebrities, and YouTubers are upending traditional news channels. Content leverage is the content you create that scales with software or code. That means you only have to make that piece of content once, and anyone with an internet connection can consume it, watch it repeatedly. It's instant, highly scalable leverage. That is why content creator is now an official job description. After making money, the next natural thing to do is to protect and preserve it, in which many people realize is even harder than making money in the first place. But here are the 3 elements in handling money that you need to comply to so your wealth lasts longer than you in this lifetime. Fingers crossed. Structure relates to framework, systems, and processes. Structure in this case relates to how you organize your finances, because money loves structure. Why the wealthy keep getting wealthier? There's a reason for that, and that reason is wealthy people have structure in their lives which support the accumulation of money. Example, a cash flow statement, a budget, a financial plan, and investment strategy that evolves over time. But structure alone won't cut it, which brings us to order. Is about setting priority. Where does money fall on the level of importance in your life? Please understand this. If you want your wealth, money to grow, then you must be willing to prioritize on the activities and actions that bring money in. Side hustle, dividend investing, creating streams of passive income. Never let your money rot in your savings account, which then brings us to money does not like to stay stagnant. It likes to be moving. Where do you think money likes to flow? It wants to flow into structures where it gets a higher level of order and greater levels of appreciation. We call it again investment. If you let your money stay dormant, stagnant, you will get a return of exactly 0. What you expect otherwise when you multiply anything with 0? Exactly. And that sums up the 3 elements that makes up the value system of money. However, at the end of the day, a huge revelation you will come across is it was never about money. Yeah, now you got a comfortable sum of money to your name, but what was it all for anyway? It's something else, and that something else is from the very beginning. This was never about money, even though that is what you use for paying off the mortgages, buying a dream car, traveling the world, never having to worry about your financial situation again. Now, money is just a piece of paper, a number on a screen today, just a tool for you to exchange for products and services that you need or want. It is actually freedom that you were looking for. Your destination was not anything monetary related. It was a feeling, a sensation, the ability to do what you want, whenever you want it, however you want it, without ever having to worry and ask yourself, I regret that cause I think I cannot afford this. How am I going to pay the rent? Will I be able to live off my retirement fund? What dreams will I have to sacrifice because I cannot afford to pursue them? The most important lesson in this video was never about the nature of money. It was about the one valuable resource that we all have. And that one resource we will never be able to reclaim. Time. Is giving up a large chunk of your time towards doing something that you don't like worth it? Is your life settled on working, coming home, binging on Netflix, sleeping, waking up the next day and repeating the same cycle until you are 65? Or perhaps you are fine with that reality. I do not know. Perhaps you have no other choices but to follow that path for the time being. That's fine. And if that is the case, there's really nothing to worry about. The most you got from this video was entertainment and maybe a change in perspective. But there are those of you that understand on the other side, those of you that have the desire to never need to worry about money ever again. And so I feel the need to remind you, if you desire the liberty through never needing to worry about money ever again, let solving problems be a meaningful pursuit in your life. Does that mean that you will be happy at the end of the road? Does that mean you will feel fulfilled? Only you can answer that question. But if your pursuit, your struggle is a meaningful one, then perhaps it will be worth pursuing. And there it is, your equation to money and wealth. Of course, there are also stories of people who skip all this and use dodgy shortcuts, enriching themselves in the process. And yes, we already have another documentary of that. Just here in this channel, believe it or not, here you go to the next episode.